Hey everyone, and welcome back to the SCREENY. With the release of Toy Story 4 just around the corner, there's never been a better time to sit down and rewatch all three of the movies. No matter how many years go by, we just can't get enough of Buzz, Woody, and the gang. While the movies are truly well-loved and iconic, they're also host to some pretty big mistakes. From glaring plot holes to editing mistakes that aren't up to standard, these movies are far from perfect. But we love them anyway. Join us as we take a look at Toy Story plot holes that totally changed the movie. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos about your favorite movies and TV shows. Buzz's disbelief. When we're first introduced to Buzz, the filmmakers made a big song and dance out of the fact that Buzz truly believes that he wasn't a toy, but a real evil fighting astronaut that was tasked with defending the universe. When the other toys try and tell Buzz that he is just a toy that kids play with and none of his gadgets are actually real, he doesn't believe them. He's so into his delusion that when he takes off his helmet, he's convinced that he's going to choke to death on foreign air, and repeatedly tries to contact Star Command. Bless him. You may not have noticed it when you watched it as a kid, but Buzz's disbelief paves the way for one of the biggest plot holes in the movie. When Andy walks in, all of the toys instantly play dead, as they always do, and so does Buzz. It's not as if he sees what everyone else is doing and then follows suit. He hears Andy coming and does it naturally. But if he truly believes that he was the Buzz Lightyear and not a mere toy, then why would he do that? Of course, Buzz's disbelief had to be enough to cause conflict, but not enough to ruin the entire movie. If he couldn't pretend to be inanimate, then it would have been a pretty different film.
I got something for you, boy.
The box opening. When the movie action is in full swing, the other toys think that Woody is pretty evil and are still convinced that he purposely hurt Buzz. Of course, they're all packed away in preparation for the big move into sealed boxes. When Woody makes his way onto the moving truck, he tries to find R.C. so the toy can go out and save Buzz. He opens a box with all his friends inside and they all react by talking and squinting into the light. But they had absolutely no way of knowing who it was that opened the box. It could have been a removal man, Andy, or any other human being, and they would have revealed themselves as the magical talking beings that they really are. This one really does make the mind boggle when you think about it. Do toys have some sort of special sense that allows them to know when there's a human around, or were the writers just in a rush that day? Once the toys see that it's Woody, they rise up against him and throw him off the truck, which they wouldn't have done if they had just played dead. Sid's locks. The whole first movie really centers on the sadistic Sid and his house of horrors. When Woody knocks Buzz into Sid's yard, all hell breaks loose and Woody has to go and try to rescue his fallen comrade so that the toys will accept him back into the fold as their leader. As we all know, it's not an easy task for the cowboy who gets trapped with Sid's mangled experiments. When it comes time to escape from Sid's room, the camera pans to a shot of Sid's door, which has several locks in it which are all closed. However, when the action starts to unfurl, the locks are all mysteriously undone so the toys can slip right out. Who did that? Was it a mystical force that was just rooting for them? Unlikely. Sometimes writers take great liberties with kids' movies as they know the little ones won't see the mistakes. Well, we're all grown now, and we're on to you, Pixar. Be warned. R.C'S random move. At the beginning of the movie, Woody tells all the toys to hide as Andy is coming. He leaves R.C. parked up underneath the crib and runs back to where he was left on the bed, just in time for Andy to come into the room. When the coast is clear and Woody calls out to everyone, R.C. emerges from the closet. But how did he get to the closet from where Woody had left him without Andy seeing? This isn't the only time that toys randomly reappear in different locations than they were left in either. It happens frequently throughout the franchise, but audiences are usually too wrapped up in the story to realize the minor details. Luckily for you, there's people like us who will point out all this stuff to you. It wouldn't happen in a non-animated movie, but you'd be surprised how often it does in cartoons. The shame.
Now I have guilt.
SUNNYSIDE'S cameras. Let's take a brief jump forward to Toy Story 3 for a moment here, as this one is just too big not to mention. When it comes to plot holes, the third installment in the franchise takes the crown. The movie is about the crazy lives of the toys at Sunnyside Daycare, how badly most of them are treated, and of course, the crazed rule of Lotso the Bear. We can get past toys being able to come alive when humans leave the room at home, but at a daycare that's monitored by 24/7 cameras? It's highly unlikely that no one has ever reviewed the footage to see the toys moving. It just doesn't make any sense. As well as this, Buzz leaves the caterpillar room on the first night to sneakily follow the villains into the vending machine to spy on them, and he's not seen. But a toy monkey was watching the cameras diligently every night? So how did Buzz get past that security detail? Did he just throw him a banana off screen? All these cameras, and yet not one single person spotted the faults in this storyline. Andy's redecorating. We all know that Woody has been Andy's favorite toy for the majority of his life, and he has all the stuff to show for it. There's posters, bedspreads, and all sorts of Woody-themed memorabilia in Andy's room. When the youngster gets given Buzz for his birthday, Woody immediately feels out of place and like he's been replaced by this newfangled toy. In the montage scene, writers try to reinforce Woody's feelings by showing Andy replacing all his Woody stuff with Buzz Lightyear merch. The posters are changed, the bedspread is gone, and now Buzz's face is everywhere that Woody's used to be. Sure, it's not hard to believe that kids like to change their stuff to keep up with the toy of the moment, but the family is moving. Why would any parent allow their kid to completely redecorate their room when they're leaving that house forever in a week? It makes no sense, no matter how you try to rationalize it. It simply wouldn't happen. Dead toys. Prepare yourself, because this one is about to take a very dark turn. Earlier this year, one man tweeted about his daughter's theory, and it shocked everyone. "My daughter just ruined Toy Story forever," wrote the user in a now viral tweet. She said if one of the toys died, Andy wouldn't know, and he'd carry on playing with its corpse. We told you things were going to get weird. The theory had fans reeling, as it has the potential to be true. It raises some pretty serious questions. Do toys die? If they die, do they just sit there with their friends and still get played with, unbeknownst to the user? That's creepy with a capital C. However, cast your minds back to the first movie, where Sid blew up the G.I. Joe-style toys in his garden. What was left of the toy crawled out of the sands to get his revenge. So maybe toys don't die at all. They just carry on living, no matter how messed up, broken, and disfigured they get. Honestly, we don't know which outcome is more disturbing. They both suck. The big reveal. Towards the end of the movie, we see all of the toys band together to take their revenge on Sid after years of torturing and botched experiments. Woody hatches a plan to come alive in front of the twisted youngster and gets all of Sid's toys to turn against him and teach him a lesson that he'll never forget. The plan goes off without a hitch, and Sid runs away screaming so loudly that he could wake the dead. But why would the toys risk coming alive in front of a human? Don't they stop and think about what might happen if Sid goes and tells someone what happened to him? Are we supposed to believe that a child that young making an ungodly noise like that in a quiet suburban area would go completely unnoticed, as that no one would see the toys lurching out to their owner? After all, it's a very open space we're talking about. Most backyards can be seen into by at least a few neighbors, so didn't anyone check to see what was going on with all the yelling? Perhaps we're expected to think that the adults did hear but didn't care, as they thought it was just the weird kid blowing up something in his yard again. Either way, there's something about it that doesn't quite ring true. Other fans believe that the garbage man in Toy Story 3 is actually a grown-up Sid who has managed to get over his childhood trauma and spends his time collecting thrown-away toys. What do you think? Thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content, and don't forget to check out one of the other two videos on your screen.